Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelly for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelly and Cheryl.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's program, Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. It's just so funny. We were laughing backstage a moment ago, me and Lauri Albert, our co-host. We have to say, hey, how are you today? How's it going, Lauri?
I'm so excited to be here, and I love this theme for tonight, so it's going to be a fun night.
I know.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on with us. And, tonight, Lauri, we're going to be talking about spirit stories. And first, I just want to welcome everyone for tuning in this evening. And we also want to hear about our audience, about their spirit stories too. So, along the way, everyone, if you guys want to type in the comments section, please do. We'd love to hear or share your story. Or even if you have a question for Lauri and I, we'll be taking questions a little bit later in the show and doing some readings for you. You can always reach us through our email, seeingbeyondradio.com. So send your questions to questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. We have the lovely Brianna also working as our co-host backstage. Thank you, Brianna. And also, of course, we have Todd, our producer at WLTK. So thank you, Todd, for being with us tonight, too. This is great. Hey, look, first off, happy 4th of July, right? Happy 4th of July week. We have to shout out for the freedom and the independence. And, I thought about spiritual independence. When I think of that, I think spiritual independence, like how lucky are we, or how fortunate are we to really be able to be open to the spirit world, or be open to understanding that, we're not alone in the universe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really funny because I was literally giving a reading about 2 hours ago, and that's one of the things that we were kind of talking about, is that we're so lucky.
God,
we're so fortunate in what we get to do.
Yeah, we really are. We really are. So can we jump underway and just start with some spirit stories? And look, these stories we're sharing stories tonight because it gives everyone a chance to hear maybe our experience, what we've had with our loved ones in spirit, with our spirit guides, so to speak, with our pets in the spirit world, with our own spirit, our own higher self, whether it's through meditation, what we've learned, what we've encountered. I mean, it's really been a joy. It's been surprising at times, the things that we've learned. So why don't I, since you're our guest tonight, our co-host guest, why don't I start with you, Lauri? Why don't you start sharing a story?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. Because, and for whatever reason, and Cheryl, I think you know this about me, I always seem to attract the funny spirits or the loud spirits.
Oh my God.
I will tell one of my favorite stories.
Okay.
Actually, and I'll try not to make it too long, but
okay.
I was actually in a development circle, which is a circle, for those of you that don't know. A development circle is where a whole bunch of mediums get together and we sort of practice on each other. Okay. So I was in a development circle and I started having this guy coming through, and it still makes me giggle. Sorry. And he was talking about, he had a real sort of affection with Native American spirits and that sort of thing. And he was really into music, and he was like a 60s thing, guy or whatever. And it was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. This is like, and then all of a sudden I was looking at the lady that I was reading, and she said, well, I happen to have known Jim Morrison. Right. And all of a sudden in my head, okay, I started like fangirling. Right. right?
Oh my
Because
God.
I was a massive Doors fan, still am, right? And I was
Oh
a
my
massive
gosh.
Jim Morrison fan. And so I'm just like, oh my God, this is like amazing or whatever. And I just started like fangirling. And like we did a couple of like sort of validations. And then because if you know the story of Jim Morrison, he was like not into, the whole, all of that stuff. He had enough. And he's like, and I clearly remember him saying, I'm out of here. This is
Oh
not
my God.
working
Oh
for
my
me.
God.
So I always laugh because I like scared him away.
Well, so what's fangirling like when you are connecting with him on the other side and now you're one of his biggest fans.
I
So
know.
you're
Well,
a fan.
I was sort of just like, I was picturing him. And when I was in like high school, I had the hugest crush on him. I mean, to me, he was really good looking and the whole thing. And I was like, and his music, and all of it. And I was just, I just was going to that place of, oh my God, I really love your music and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay.
What
I
do you feel?
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to bring through somebody famous or a celebrity, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to bring through celebrities if
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
about it, Cheryl, because I mean, we know so much about
Mhm.
celebrities, So I always
And
I
sometimes
kind of shy away from that a little bit.
yeah, and, sometimes when they come through, they're just regular people, right? They just wanna connect with their loved ones sitting across from them,
Yeah.
and they're not talking about their celebrity at the moment. They're saying, "I love you, I'm watching over you," right? They're
Yeah.
telling their story, and we're the medium, so,
Yeah.
maybe we've brought through celebrities at
Mhm.
times, I know I brought through a celebrity, and I didn't know till after I
Ooh.
gave the reading to the client that person was a celebrity, because the way they felt to me, they were just someone's husband, they were
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a warm, loving, not just, but they were an
Yeah.
amazing, warm, loving person.
Yeah.
So,
Now
yeah,
I know
I
that
love it.
there's probably a confidentiality thing, but do you
Yeah.
want to tell us who it was?
No.
Oh, darn.
I know.
But it was
Yeah,
somebody
I'd
fun,
rather
I'm sure.
they were fun, they were fun. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story, all right? I'm gonna
Okay.
tell one of my stories, and this has to do with my brother who's departed. My brother Greg departed this planet when he was 28, right? And,
Oh, so
but
young.
so yeah, he's definitely one of my guides, I know this for sure, and he's around all the time, and he was very much into spirituality growing up. He and I would practice together, and it was just so common, so that's very cool. So here I am. I'm at work one day and I'm taking a break, and I'm actually with one of my clients in this work area, but I'm on a break, so I'm seeing a client. And so my brother comes through, and my client is trying to learn about her guides. So my brother comes through to help her learn about her guides, right?
Oh my gosh.
And he says, "Look, I'll show you that this is real." So I'm interpreting this. I'm the medium. I'm giving her this information from my brother, who's the guide for me. And he goes, "Look, I'm going to come through, and you're going to feel me, sense me, hear me, know me, right?"
Yeah.
So within a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, 4 people walk by in front of us with the same name as Greg, which is my brother's name. One of them happens to be a dancer, a professional dancer. My brother was an off-Broadway dancer. So it's almost like you're seeing my
Oh,
brother
yeah.
in person, but it's just so amazing. You
Yeah.
get it? Uh, and we're being introduced to someone with that name. We're saying hello to 2 people with this name that I knew, but you just don't it's not in the forefront of your consciousness until
Yeah.
it starts happening to you. That's what
Yeah.
I wanna tell people is, we don't make this stuff up. There's no way we could, but also the amazing talent of the spirit world to orchestrate this to this client of mine, right? My brother, great as he is, helping to orchestrate this for my client to show her, yeah, your guides, they're here. You have guides. They're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
It was a big day.
Oh,
It was a big wow, aha, all
yeah.
of in one, all in one.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
crazy.
and then I'm sure that your client could feel,
Could feel the
too.
amazement because these people with the same name as my brother, they didn't know what was going on. And you're just watching me and her go, oh, wow, oh, this is great. Oh, oh my God, another one, and yeah, so she's definitely
Amazing.
feeling, especially with the one with the dancer, because that meant a lot to my brother. So when that just bowled us over, you
Yeah.
couldn't help but, come to that realization of that knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's those validations.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny it at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, I have so many people that come to me and talk about, well, it could just be a coincidence, but not situations like that. I'm sorry.
It was too rare. It just beautiful experience, really beautiful.
Yeah.
So I hope
No,
everyone has something similar happening. Yeah.
yeah. I love that. That's such a great story. Like it's like a teaching story too,
It is really about the belief of the spirit world, and knowing that they're here and that
Yeah.
we can feel them and sense them in different ways. We can even, anyway, I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to ask you to share another story, Lauri.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. So wait, I have stories written down over
Oh,
here.
good. I'm glad you wrote some down.
I know because there's a lot. This is a quick one and it's just kind of I want to tell this story because and it's kind of like piggybacking on what you were talking about
Yeah.
just a minute ago. It's like you just you have to just believe sometimes.
Mhm.
So in the middle of the night, I had to get up and go get a glass of water.
Okay.
So I was groggy and just tired or whatever. And obviously in the middle of the night, I'm going up to get, so I go into the hallway of our house and I'm starting to walk down the hallway and I like was really groggy, half asleep. And I saw like something, a somebody or, in my brain right at that moment, it was somebody. Right. And I was walking past them in the hallway and I looked over and went, oh, excuse me. Like, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, yeah, right. Okay. Nice to see you. It just
Too
became
funny.
like, oh, it was just weird. But, sometimes when you are at your, gosh, I don't want to use the word weakest because that's not what I want to say,
Mhm.
but it's like when you're just like open to
Mhm.
possibility.
Mhm.
That's when
Mhm.
you start to realize that this is real and you start to see the shadow out of the corner of your eye and you start to realize, oh, maybe that isn't just a shadow. Maybe it's something else. I mean, and I love that because that's a good teaching thing. We need to all believe that.
We need to all step into that.
Yeah.
Jessica says vulnerable. You may be
Yes.
being vulnerable to being open.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
there's so many
Oh, I'm
stories.
gonna
A lot of
tear.
people were. Why don't you read some of the stories,
Oh,
Cheryl?
yeah, definitely, and feel free to jump in here. My co-host with the mostest here, Lauri. Yes, let's just see what people are saying. So Sandra G says, "This is real. This is real. My partner sent 4 golf balls to my backyard 3 weeks after he passed in the middle of January in Vancouver." It's so true. It's so true. That and
I
what
love that.
confirmation and evidence that is. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I'm getting a little emotional here.
I know.
Thank you, Sandra. I mean, that's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, when things happen and they happen out of the blue, I'll just say out of the blue.
Yeah.
Uh,
It
Court,
does.
yeah, Courtney Lopez says, I heard
Courtney.
Courtney. Hi, Courtney. I heard a voice recently, first time ever, blew my mind. I have had the clairs with music, and I've had the clairs with music and such, but never like this.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
That's so cool. Yay,
I
Courtney.
I think
Courtney's one of my
voices.
students. So I'm just like, yeah.
Really? Oh my God. This reminds me, Courtney, I heard a voice tell me no really loud one time. I was going to a meeting and I was going to sit in whatever row it was, right? I was just going to sit down. And I heard spirit say, because I was going to sit by some people I had met before for whatever reason, spirit said no, but it was so firm and it was out of the blue. And it was like, wow, I am not supposed to go there. Thank God, and I went to another row to sit down during this meeting. And I'm almost like, thank you, spirit, because it never felt good the whole day. And this whole section of those few rows just never felt good. But to have spirit just help you when you weren't even expecting it. To me,
Yeah.
that was saving grace. I
Yeah.
ended up sitting next to wonderful people. I was just thrilled. So yeah, spirit's with us all the time.
Oh,
Right?
for sure. And you know what? Interestingly, I have a story about that as well.
Oh, good.
A couple of weeks ago, I was putting my groceries in the car, and I was messing around in the trunk, and someone hit my cart. Okay. And I heard, and I looked over and saw this guy, and I looked back into the trunk, and I heard, check your purse. So I looked over at my purse, and this is pretty funny, actually. I look over at my purse, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. And I look back into the trunk, and then I heard it louder, check your purse.
Oh my God.
Right? So I checked my purse, and my wallet was gone. Yeah. Right. So, I got to finish the story now, but
Yeah, you got to
I
finish
ended
now.
up screaming because I'm a very loud, person. I don't have a lot of certain types of fear, I guess. Right. So I started screaming and screaming. I run over to the guy and I grabbed my wallet back. And so I got it back.
Oh,
yeah.
Fierce. You're
Yeah,
fierce.
I know. And you know what? Fierce or dumb, one of the two.
Yeah,
but you know what? When your instincts kick in, I
Yeah.
have to believe that
Mhm.
spirit was like leading
Mhm.
me to that.
Mhm.
I had to
Mhm.
believe that.
Mhm.
So yeah, right. So, but I heard that really, no, check it, Lauri, come on.
Yeah.
They're like, Lauri, come on, check your purse.
Wow. Strong guides. You have strong guides.
Yes, I
You
do.
really. Yeah.
Yes, I do, for sure. For sure. So
Let's say hi to some people who are joining us tonight. Hey, Courtney again, and Pam. We have Jessica. We saw Keith early on. Hi, Keith, and Colleen. Thank you for being with us. Michelle, Maria. Thank you, everyone, for being with us tonight on Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. We also have Viola. We have Colleen who says,
Viola.
wow.
And my cousin is here, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Another Kelly.
Another Kelly.
We have to have her on the show then. Kelly and so many Kellys in my life.
I know, I
Kelly.
love it. Oh my gosh, Denise Lind has the best story. I find those little green plastic army men.
Oh my God.
My brother and I used to play with them when we were little. He passed away 7 years ago at 54. I found like 4 of them so far. Oh my gosh. Just look down every now and then. That gives me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Denise, that's such a beautiful story.
It is.
Because it's something that I shouldn't say only you two, but only you two get that, because I can't tell you, I don't know that I've ever seen one of those little green plastic men, those army guys,
I love it. And what a neat sign, 4 little army guys. I mean, that's just such a cool little sign to have, that, you would never think of that as a sign, but to each of us, it's very different, our experiences we have. Dory's here. XO Dory. XOXO. We love Dory.
Our lovely Dory. We love Dory. She's great.
Hi, yes, and welcome everyone. Welcome. We're talking about spirit stories. I'm with Lauri Albert, who's our co-host today and our guest. Thank you, Lauri, for helping to fill in when Kelly's not with us. We're missing Kelly, but we're always thrilled to have Lauri with us because she's definitely taken the control, so to speak, and love having her on the show. So we hope to do some readings in just a little bit, but right now we're sharing your stories. So if you have a story you'd like to type in our comment box there, or you can send it to questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. We'd love to talk more about it. But just for everyone who doesn't know Lauri, we'll just take a moment and say, Lauri, please introduce yourself. Please share your website. I know you're at laurialbert.com. Is that right?
Yes.
LAURI. LauriAlbert.com. Please share with us. How long have you been You're a medium. You're a medium. You're a spiritual luminary. That's what you are.
I know. You know what? I started doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I thought, you know what? Let's just narrow it down because I'm a spiritual medium. I'm an intuitive educator. I'm a certified meditation teacher. I am a podcast host. I wrote a book, so I'm a manifestation author. So it's just easy to call it a spiritual luminary. I think somebody said it to me one day and I was like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I like to think that I can help you find that flame within and then help it
Mm.
grow. You know, I mean,
Oh,
that's like,
beautiful.
that's my whole big thing. I mean, I had a great community when I started out. I think I started out around like 20 years ago, like developing. I've always had these interesting kinds of stories going on, but about 20 years ago, I started to really develop it. And I had certain people, actually, Cheryl, you were one of the people that helped me when I first started out. And I have a mentor as well that helped me out. But, you know, you can't just ask all these people everything all the time, right? So I would have these crazy weird things going on, and I wouldn't really have too many people I could talk to about it. So it just became like finding my own way. And so I have this real affinity for people that are trying to develop their spiritual gifts, whether that's psychic, whether that's mediumship, whether you're an empath. I really, really like helping. I guess
love it.
you could say it that way. And I have a course coming up where I teach it twice a year. So I'm really excited. It's a 4-week spiritual development class. And we go over everything. We go over the chakras and the clairs of spirit work, if you're familiar with those. We talk about what it's like to be a psychic and a medium. We practice. That's always fun. Oh, I've got the funnest, I don't even know if that's a word, you know,
We'll
but
make
we've
it a
got
word.
the funnest like ways of practicing. And then at the end, you get the chance to join my development circle. So yeah, and that's exclusive for my
People
students.
that take the course, right?
Yes.
Is it called Unveiling the Extraordinary?
Yes,
right?
it is.
A 4-week journey to psychic and mediumship mastery.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm so excited. I love teaching it because and Cheryl, I know you understand this too. I love watching people have those aha moments.
Yeah, when they light up. Yeah, when they light up. So everyone, that's on July 19th. You still have time to sign up. You can go to Lauri's website, laurialbert.com. It's called Unveiling the Extraordinary.
Yes, and I have early bird special for another couple of days.
Ooh, early bird, even
there's an
better,
early
Lauri.
bird
Thank
special
you.
on it.
Thanks for offering that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for that. And we're going to get on with our stories for tonight. And for everyone that's just meeting Lauri for the first time, please check her out. You can go to her website, laurialbert.com, once again. And we always love having her on the show. So once again, thanks, Lauri, for being on tonight.
You're so nice. I appreciate being here. I mean, it's so much fun. You and Callie are like,
we're rocking it. Yeah. Well, she's always a hoot. You know, she's a blast.
I know, right?
She's always a blast. Okay, here we go. Let me share a story with Kathy Stiles, because she's saying one of her partner's favorite songs that they sang the night. So one of my partner's favorite songs we sang for him the night of his passing was Morning Has Broken. Oh, Morning Has Broken. A couple of months after he passed, I opened a dictionary at the school where I worked and found on the old mimeographed copy of that song.
Aww.
It also showed up when I was visiting a place I was considering moving to.
Wow. That's validation.
I'm touched. Oh, Kathy.
Amazing. Wow.
These stories are validation. I mean, Kathy, you don't realize how many people you're helping out tonight by sharing this story, because so many people may have a similar experience, or even if they had one part of that happen to them as well, you've helped people validate the spirit world. And, you know, I'm sure your partner is always guiding you, right? Doesn't that sound, Lauri? It sounds like her partner is just a beautiful soul. Number one, just
absolutely.
guiding you.
And you know what, Kathy, where my thought goes with this is that, you know, how lucky you are to believe this. There are so many people that just don't believe in any of this. They would look at that and go, oh, it's a coincidence. But we all know that it's not. I mean, if you're on here, I'm assuming, you know, we know that it's not. And we know that our loved ones, we know that when our body dies, our spirit lives on, our soul lives on.
Yeah. It's
I
beautiful.
love that. So beautiful.
Very meaningful, Kathy. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And then also Colleen is going to share a story. She gets messages through her dreams from those who have passed on. I've delivered to their loved ones here, and each was a validated message that gave them peace. Oh, so she's had dreams
Oh.
where she's delivered messages.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, she's had dreams of people who've passed on, and then she delivers to their loved ones who are here the message, and it's
Yeah.
validated. Is that right? Am I reading that right, Lauri?
That's the way it seems to me, but that's like incredible.
It's like a wow. Yeah.
That's
Colleen,
absolutely
another
beautiful.
wow. How
Yeah.
beautiful. I know that I have to say, I've had dreams too where a good girlfriend, close friend of mine, her mother recently passed. At that time I had the dream. Her mom came to me as I was actually waking up from sleeping and was in my bedroom.
Oh,
So it was kind of that wake state, as you're waking. And she
yeah.
was like walking around my bed, thanking me for helping her daughter out. She's like, I
Aw.
just wanted to come by and like, not to bother you, but I just wanted to come by and thank you for, helping my daughter out, and it was
Yeah.
just an amazing
I love
experience
that.
for me. I mean, her mom had been ill for a while, and so we were really close, and her mother was a lovely and everything. And it was always a joy to talk to her. So
That's
I
so
was so
cool.
blessed to have that experience too, right? I mean, we feel so honored,
Yeah.
She's not
Yeah.
really my direct relative, but she's certainly a sister, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like she's like another mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's very meaningful.
Oh, that is just
Isn't
gorgeous.
that nice, Lauri? Yeah.
That is so amazing. I have kind of a neat story.
Okay.
One of this happened sort of towards the beginning of my development. So that's why it really sticks in my head. A friend of mine had passed not too long before before I started developing. Her name was Patty. And she she came to, I'm trying to give the short version. She came to me one night in my development circle, again, the development circle, right? And as a message for me. And my husband, and it was like I said, towards the beginning of my development, my husband was like, yeah, I believe in this, but sort of not, blah, blah, blah. So she says to me in the development circle, I will take care of your husband. And I went, oh no. Right. And I am not kidding. That night, actually the next morning, my husband and I wake up and he's like, you're not going to, this was weird. I had a weird thing happen last night. I said, you did? And he goes, I heard someone walking into our bedroom.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, I was like sort of like, he didn't really say this, but he was like paralyzed with sort of fear because, you hear somebody walking in the bedroom, nobody else in the house or whatever,
That's
So
right.
he goes, somebody walked into the bedroom and then I felt like they sat down on the bed. You know how like when the bed goes down and you can feel it? They sat down on the bed. And I was like,
God.
oh. I said, well, sorry, honey. That was my friend Patty. She was trying to show you that we're real. Oh my goodness.
What an experience. And what an experience for your husband too.
Yes. It was really crazy. Oh my gosh, my cousin's here. Kelly McKay, and my aunt and uncle are listening. Hi, Aunt Susan and Uncle Bruce.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi. Oh, and I have a
beautiful.
Susan in my life too. So hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
But she says something. What did she say? I can't see what. When I struggled to initiate divorce, I could hear my grandmother say, "Be strong. You've got this, Kelly." She said this over and over until I did it. And then a powerful weight was lifted.
That goes right through me. I felt that one.
Yeah.
Kelly, way to go.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Our loved ones, they're just like, they're on fire, so to speak. Like they're not going to stop supporting us and helping us. Like they're going to come through with any support that we need and say, you got this, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. That's so amazing. Just love that.
I have a story, but I want to read a story that I just saw from Michelle. I know.
Cheryl, I never heard your stories before. That's why.
Oh, I know. Okay, I'll tell a story.
Okay. Sorry.
No. This is a story that I did a short blurb about it on TikTok and Instagram. Okay. But I'll tell the story because I love the story because, when you're blown away, you got to tell the story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm meditating and I had just created, I don't know, a course or something a year or two ago. I don't know what I was doing. It was about a year ago now, not two yet, but I was creating something. I was doing an outline and all this stuff. And so I'm meditating. I'm just happen to be meditating, not thinking about anything. And this ball of light comes right into my third eye. And it's
Ooh.
this woman, and she's like, you just see her upper body, but there's this ball of light right behind her. You can imagine it. And she's like, hey, and she's excited, like Bette Midler, like she has this real, feisty, fun, comedic feeling about her. She's like, hey, my name is Betsy, and I'm here to help you with what you're creating. And I'm your spirit guide. And I've been with you for 2 months. So I'm helping you, but I got to go now and I'll be back. And just like that ball of light that came in, poof, she goes just like that. And literally, you're just like seeing stars. You're like, what just happened?
That is so
But
funny.
since then, she has been coming around. Isn't
Oh
that
my
amazing?
gosh, that's
That was my
amazing.
introduction to my new guide. She's a new guide. So my goal is to tell people the story to let you know that you have new guides happening.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yep.
so much, right, Lauri? When you take on new projects, you learn new hobbies, maybe you move to a new part of the world. When you want to be creative, you attract the guides that will help you,
Yeah.
right? Help
Yeah,
you create that.
absolutely. Yeah, they
I
come in
loved
and
it.
out,
Yeah, Betsy. So now that's one of my
I
guides
love
named Betsy. So
That's so awesome, and, like, she told you her name,
and
for the
and
longest time, it's like, "Tell me your
I
name."
know. First thing out of her mouth, and I know no one. I do not know anyone named Betsy. Like I couldn't relate it to a friend or anyone. It's like I don't know a Betsy. I mean, I like the name, but I don't know anyone. I know an Elizabeth. I know a Beth, but I don't know a Betsy. And it was just so beautiful. It was just right out of the gate. I mean, what a fireball,
Yeah,
spirit. Yeah,
yeah.
really a
That's
lot of
what we
fun.
we all need one of those,
Yeah, really
Isn't it
fun.
great when you have a feisty one?
Oh, and they just like bullseye right in the third eye.
Oh, that's
It's great.
amazing.
Is
Oh, I
fun
love
for
that
me.
story. I think that's my favorite one so far.
That's good, good, good. Well,
Okay, you can read the other ones now, I'm
okay,
sorry.
let me read a couple of stories and then we're gonna get on with some readings. But for Michelle says, Michelle Haverfield Roshong says, I heard the song Don't Stop Believing by Journey. I heard that song constantly, no matter the station or genre on Alexa, it pops on.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't have that song anywhere on my playlist.
Oh my gosh. I think somebody's trying to talk to you, Michelle.
I think that's how spirit talks, right, Lauri? When spirit wants to get your attention, that's the message. They are able to put it in a song, give you the title of the song, put it through anything electronic they can find that you're listening to.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
They
Oh
can
my
even
gosh.
put it on a t-shirt or you see the album cover or what have you, you hear other people say it, don't stop believing. That's a
Yeah.
great message.
Yeah. I love that.
That's a
I'm,
powerful
I'm giggling because when my father passed away, the song that I will, and you know what, I can't even hardly talk about it without tearing up because it's just one of those things. But not on the wings of love. What's the song? Oh my God, it's like a typical.
It's called Wing Beneath My Wings.
Yes.
You know why? Because it's my brother's song. You were saying that. That's
Oh my
my
gosh.
brother's song to me. And when you said that, I'm like, I know my brother is coming through.
Oh my
eyes
gosh.
are
Well, because we were talking about him, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But
We've been
when you
talking
hear
about
that song, do you just kind of go, oh my God?
winds
So
beneath.
finally, sadly, I had to tell him to stop playing that
Oh.
song for me because I mean, I didn't mean to be rude, but like
Oh
my
my
dad
God.
knows, but I literally in the first like 3 notes, I will instantly tear up,
And that's from your dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
Good old dad.
Good old dad.
Good old dad.
I
Hi,
love that.
Dad. Hi, Lauri's dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Courtney says, oh yeah, one day in my car after a reading where I was told to told
Yeah.
to listen to music you wouldn't normally listen to. My radio completely changed in the middle of a station playing. It morphed into meditation music.
Whoa. Okay, you have to read that one again. Okay, read it again
Yeah, I
so
know
we
because
can
I
just
screwed it up. Sorry.
no, we can absorb it
Okay, so she says, "Oh yeah, one day in my car after a reading
after a reading. Okay.
where I was told to listen to music you wouldn't normally listen to. My radio completely changed in the middle of a station playing. It
Oh my
morphed
God.
into meditation music."
Courtney, that is just
That's awesome. I love that. Love that.
rock and roll. Courtney,
Yeah.
you are definitely
Right?
tuned in.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
is so fun. I think spirit does that, right? They'll change the station. They'll create static. They'll put the words through to you that just vibrate through you to your soul as a message.
And then Courtney says, like nowhere in Wisconsin is there a meditation station. It was wild. Yeah, I'm sure. Wisconsin. Nowhere in Wisconsin is there. Oh, that's great.
Courtney, thanks for your story. And thank you everyone for your story too. Can I just quickly read what Sandra G wrote? She said something about me and Kelly. Sandra G wrote, I had a reading from Cheryl and Kelly a month after he passed. They both asked me about a ring that I kept and wore on a chain. They told me to watch for it. It came a few days later on someone else. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Isn't that
That
amazing?
is amazing. That's a spirit mic drop. Okay.
Yeah.
That's me and Kelly just delivering the message, but that's a spirit mic drop. I guess we have
Yeah.
to really give it credit where it's deserved.
Yeah. We're so
Oh,
lucky. Aren't we
yeah,
lucky, Cheryl?
we are.
We get to be the medium, the actual, medium. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's really amazing.
Do you want to share another story? Do you want to do some readings? How are you feeling, Lauri?
Okay, I can do one more story. Let me
Okay.
see. Oh, okay. And because I know that my friends are listening. Okay.
Okay.
So I can tell you this story. This is great. And they know that I'm going to tell this story. Well, anyway, whatever. Okay. So my friends, this is probably about 10 years ago. Now we go over to at the time they were new friends, right? So we go over to their house and they were like, "Oh, there's something going on in this in this picture." I was like, what's going on? And sure enough, I said, let me spend some time in the room with the picture, right? So I sit down and sure enough, it was a picture of a child. The child says, "My name is Sarah." Okay. And she was attached to this painting. I mean, it was, and it was a real painting by like a real artist and the whole thing. It wasn't like mass produced kind of thing or anything. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I had found out that, she hadn't at the time walked into the light yet. She didn't know she had died. She didn't realize, and this is like, it was old. It felt like this was a long, long time ago. So the grandmother comes down, I'm talking to the grandmother and, hi, Sarah. And talking to the grandmother. And finally I see the grandmother take Sarah, with her. However,
Wow.
she didn't like leave altogether. She's continued to stay and is still attached to the painting. And when I go over to their house, I'll go in the room where the painting is and I'll just sit there and I'll like hang out with Sarah for a little bit. She's very playful and she's very fun. And she'll come and like I can feel her sitting on my lap. I mean, it's extraordinary. To me, it's just so beautiful. I love it.
I love it.
Love
I love it. So there's a question around that. So Courtney's asking, I'm curious as to why they don't know they have passed. So how do you
have a good answer for that? I don't really have a good answer. I mean, I do have what my thought is, but I'd like to hear your thought first.
Yeah. So I feel like just from hearing Lauri's story and just from my experience as a medium, I mean, I can only go from my experience, and Lauri may add to this, but I feel like in some way they know what's going on. I don't feel like they're lost. I do feel like maybe they're more wanting to be here with their loved ones and support, or they're receiving more gratification from being more present here, or at least letting us know here. But the soul is so vast. I am sure that she's not lost. I am sure she's evolving as she should. And in some ways, she could be helping Lauri. She could be helping the people who are in that home still. That could be her soul's purpose at that time.
Yeah. Now that's really interesting because my take on it is a little different, but yet it's similar. I kind of believe that sometimes, not all the time, this is nothing with this work is foolproof, right? Of course. But I feel like that sometimes when people are sick and it's pretty likely that they're going to be passing, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they're preparing themselves to cross. There's things that are happening spiritually, right? But I think sometimes when they cross, when they're like, and it's a complete surprise. Sometimes, not all the time. I think that it happens so fast. They just spiritually, it wasn't necessary. Maybe it wasn't supposed to happen and it did, or I don't know. Cause there could be, I'm opening up all kinds of cans of worms here, I realize, but, I think that sometimes they just aren't ready. And so they, at that point, because once we cross, we have a choice. We can sit in our guilt and fear and sadness and all of that negative stuff, or we also have a choice that we can progress on the other side. Okay. So that's kind of my thing. And, most of us, if we have time to process it, then we can progress.
Love it.
What does that mean to you, Cheryl? Like, I'm curious as to your thoughts on what I just said, and it's totally fine if you disagree. I know
I don't disagree. What I feel is our consciousness is so vast, and there's many aspects to how magnificent the soul is in the spirit world, and that we are probably experiencing many things going on that are even, like you said, subconscious, right?
Right.
So there's a lot there to unpack.
I know. That's why I was like, ooh, can of worms. And then I'd say something else. Ooh,
but it's
another
good
can of worms.
It's good that we address it, though, because it's all about love, right? And it's all about asking such brilliant questions. So thank you, whoever, I think Courtney asked that, because it creates a wonderful conversation, that we can find these answers through meditation or through your own experience through connecting with spirit. And it might be a different answer for everyone. It may not have to be the same answer, right?
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. Yeah. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, because consciousness doesn't have boundaries,
Yeah.
So it can be what's my truth might not be your truth. I love that.
Truly love it. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. And look, I know we still want to hear your stories. Please keep typing them in the comment section. We are going to get on to a couple of readings. We'll do as many as we can. If you have a question, please write in the comment section, something we can answer for you. Lauri may do her wonderful card readings tonight. I'm not going to twist her arm, but hey,
I just
Lauri, just saying, maybe you'll do a reading for the group tonight, or for all of us, that are watching, or even watching this recording. As you know, these recordings still mean that the card reading that that we all receive is significant. But if you would like us to pull a card for you this evening, or if you have a question about something we can answer for you, we'll do a little bit of mini readings. I always call them just mini readings. We always want to connect. And then if you can just be with us on the call, whether it's commenting through validation or confirmation, just to let everyone know that, you're receiving the information and you can understand it. All right. Terrific. So is there anyone that has a question that's struggling with something, or is there anyone with us today that needs to make a decision? You have about a couple of choices and you're not sure which decision to make. So if you could be kind of specific, it helps us with this time we have, where we're not doing a full reading. We are trying to work with as many people as we can. Actually, let's just see here. Let me just see here. So Michelle Hagan is struggling with her future workout hymn. Oh, I'm struggling with my future workout hymn. I don't understand what that means. What does that mean, Lauri? I'm struggling with my future workout hymn. Are you struggling with Michelle, can you kind of rephrase that? We won't let you go, but if you can just reword that. And I know everyone's in keyboard. I know everyone's in a rush now, but we will.
Oh, without him.
Who can I really trust without him? Who can I really trust without him? Well, this is a really great question, and I'm going to ask Lauri to pull a card. But the first thing I get, Lauri, is that I feel like now you're alone. Am I right? You're alone, or you've been alone for a while. But I'm hearing, of course, you have to learn how to step into your own trust and your own trust of spirit. You almost have to learn how to equip yourself or learn how to navigate, as she says, yes, learn how to navigate this feelings you have. So it's really the question I would hand back to you or invite you is to say, what does trusting yourself look like? What does it feel like? How do you know? Are you listening to your gut instinct? Are you listening to your heart? Are you using discernment? That's where I want to empower you, Michelle, so you don't have to worry about anyone else. You trust yourself. And that's really when the empowerment helps and information starts opening up and coming to you. Lauri, do you want to pull a card? What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah.
Lauri. Yeah.
What's really interesting is that I feel like I want to piggyback on what you were saying. The card that I pulled was the Wheel of Spirit, and it says flexibility. I don't know if you can see that really well.
Beautiful.
But interestingly, I'm not actually getting flexibility. I'm getting more of like, I'm getting the vision of you being sort of tunnel visioned right now, Michelle. Okay. I'm feeling like you're tunnel visioned. Okay. Like you're only seeing a certain aspect to your situation. Okay. However, this card tells me, and I feel like that is it your husband that's on the other side? I'm really feeling like if you just take off the blinders, take off the blinders. There's so much more that you can do. I feel like I'm seeing you helping other people in their own grief.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
I'm feeling like I'm seeing other people, and you you helping other people out, because I feel like that you are, you're very, very, compassionate.
Yes, it's her husband, she says.
Yeah. I feel like that you're very compassionate. And I think that this whole thing, you can take this really horrible situation and make it something to help you and to help other people. Because when you help other people, you help yourself. You should always remember that. So I'm going to leave you with that.
I love it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michelle. And just, our love goes out to you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I've been told I'm a healer. Yeah. So beautiful.
She says, thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's great. And can you pull a card for the group too, Lauri? Can we just pull a card?
Ooh, I love doing that, because that's what gets me. I swear, I could have been a preacher, because when I start pulling the cards and spirit starts channeling through me, I'll just keep going.
And what card deck are you using? Because that card with that angel was gorgeous.
No, tonight I'm using, actually it's a fairy. They're all fairies.
I love the fairy.
These are the Sacred Forest Oracle deck. And it is Denise Lynn, who we love, right?
We love Denise Lynn.
Okay.
Shout out.
Okay, so I'm supposed to pull the top card, which is cool. Oh my goodness gracious. I pulled this the other day for somebody, and it's just such a beautiful card. It says Wise Woman of the Grove, and it says Grace. Now I'm going to pull it over here so you can see it well.
Yes, it's perfect.
Now, do you see the treasure?
Yes, right? I do see the treasure with the red light.
Yes. And the lady, the Wise Woman of the Grove, is right there. She's standing in between the trees. Okay. There's always lessons to be learned Okay. And messages to be gotten in wherever you are, whether you're in the Grove or whether you're at the grocery store or whatever, there's always lessons to be learned. Spirit is everywhere.
Oh,
And
I love
spirit
it.
can teach us in any circumstance.
I
And
love it.
that's the message I'm getting. And what is beautiful about this card, I'm going to show it again, because what's beautiful is we've got the treasure is right there. The treasure is right there looking at you. It's there for the taking. And if you can just open up, and it's so funny because it's kind of goes along with what I was saying earlier. If you can just take the blinders off and just be open to whatever spirit has for you, whether you're a light worker or not.
Oh, I love it.
There's so much there for you. So I'm going to leave it at that.
That was a group card, and for everyone. And I wanted to tell everyone what I got from that also, Lauri, thank you, was if you don't know what your spirit guide's name is, call her Grace until you get a name. So everyone so right now, everyone has a guide named Grace. And so that may be her name all the time, or maybe it's just a working name for now until the one you find. But isn't Grace a wonderful name to call upon for help?
Absolutely.
Or receive messages from, hey, I got this guy named Grace, and she's hanging out with me, and her name may change a little bit, but for right now, I'm calling her Grace. And it works for me. Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
That is so beautiful.
I love it. Yeah.
That word is like, it inspires peace and wisdom and, all of the good things.
All the good things. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Lauri, for that wonderful card for us. So let's take another reading. Let's just see here. Oh, Michelle, once again, Michelle, her grandmother's name is Grace, and she feels that she looks after her. Oh, Michelle, that's just lovely. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes, an amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace.
Let's see, Lauri, if I could ask you to pull a card for Beverly Anderson. Beverly, do you have a specific question? Right now she's asking, do you have a message for her? But Beverly, do you want a specific question that you have we could help you with, Beverly? You could just give us, is it around like finance or relationship, or maybe you're looking for direction, or a certain area of your life. So Beverly, we'll wait for you. If you can, just type in a few words just to help us.
Shuffling.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, we have a troll, so I'm just going to block this person.
Oh,
so let's bless them. This aid well. Let's just bless them and then delete that comment. So
you're so. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, you are so beautiful.
If you give me the controls, I'll take care of everything. So Beverly, while we're waiting for you to ask us a little bit more of a specific question, Beverly, we're going to move on and see if we can't answer a question for someone. We'll come back to you, Beverly, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Jessica says, I feel someone in my house all the time, literally wakes me up every night. Do you know who it is? I feel like it is more than one person.
I think you need to sage your house. I was just throwing that out there, number one, but go ahead, Cheryl.
Well, I do feel it's two people, Jessica, but I feel male, female. Like, I feel like, I really do. I feel like they're guides. I don't, you could have departed loved ones, of course, but I do feel there are two, but they're very male, female, like, they're coming through to actually help you open up into finding more balance in your life is what about that. Oh, Jessica says, Lauri, LOL, I literally just told my husband about the sage. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's funny.
So anyway, Jessica, I do feel male, female. I felt divine female coming through first. And then the male, it just feels like the counterpart of that to bring balance to. But it's about you committing. It's something about you committing to kind of putting yourself out there spiritually, or committing to more of your passion in life and following through is what I'm hearing. So I hope this helps, Jessica, and please let us know if you understand that. And we do have time for another reading or two, but if we could do another group reading, Lauri, let me just say, and we're going to wait for Beverly if she's still with us on the call.
Yeah, she might
But
not be.
before you pull a card, though, Lauri, this is what I thought. Can everyone in our minds, so everyone ask a question. Everyone ask a question that you need help with, and Lauri's going to pull one card that could help all of us. How's that? So whatever question you have, just take that moment. Like, what do you need an answer around right now? What do you need to manifest or release? Just go ahead and take a moment and ask that question. And then Lauri, when you're ready, just pull a card for all of us, please.
Oh, that's so perfect, Cheryl. Oh my gosh. Okay. Huh. This is so great for all of us. Oh my gosh. Because I asked a question too. Did you ask a question, Cheryl?
Oh, I did. And Jessica, by the way, said she's working on life balance. So she is working on balance, you know.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is what I got. The standing stones. Yes, it reminds us of the show Outlander, but the standing stones, and it says passage. Okay. So what I'm getting about this card, you guys, is, and it's so perfect for all of us because in this, the whole sort of story with standing stones is that it can, if you are one of the special ones, you can touch the stone and it will take you wherever you want to go. Okay. That's kind of the thing, right? But this is what this card means. If you really, really want something, release and just allow spirit to take you where you're supposed to go. Okay. And to further that, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much about this card. You know, if we really, really want something, we have to figure out why we want it. Like, why is it that we want this so bad? Like, what is the behind the scenes thing? Okay. And when we ask that, when we ask spirit to help us understand why we want what we want, and we surrender to whatever that is that spirit has for us for the highest and greatest good of everybody, then it becomes more clear why we want what we want. And maybe that thing that I really want a diamond ring, I want a 6-carat diamond ring. Okay, so you start to ask yourself, why do you want that, you know, why do I want, I'm going to put it in terms of me. Why do I want that diamond ring? Okay. And then you start to surrender and you start to ask, okay, so I'm going to surrender to spirit. And then you start to realize it's not the diamond ring that I want. It's the feeling validated. It's that feeling of having a loving relationship, like a diamond ring as an engagement ring or whatever, you know. It's like, I really want the validation. I really want what that means. I hope that makes sense to everybody, because sometimes what we really, really, really want, I really, really, really want this guy who is, he's got dark hair and a beard and a mustache, and he's laughing and I want that so bad. But sometimes if we let go of those expectations and we allow spirit to come in, then we're going to get what we want out of it, but it may not exactly look like that. It may not exactly look like the guy with with the brown hair and the beard and the mustache, you know, but we're going to get that feeling. We're going to get what we truly, really wanted out of that. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it with that. I realize I went a little deep.
Well, we love deep, and we love it that you took it a step further too, Lauri. You asked why we want what we want, which I think is that's the underlying reason of really what we want, right? Yeah. And that can really, that's where the manifesting really happens. It feels like underneath the why do we want what we want, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, Lauri. And I hope I can tell people chiming in here in the comments how much they appreciate it. And it was right on, right on. And it's everything we needed to hear about passage, right? That was the card, passage.
Yeah. 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 I love it. I love it. So, yeah.
And Peggy says that totally makes sense. So just to tell you that people are, and Courtney's like, we love that. Marie's beautiful and amazing. And that's
Cindy said the card was perfect because I have felt unsure where to focus my energy spiritually, and I need to let go of my own expectations. Exactly. Right? Allow the universe to guide. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Perfect.
And you could say we all have a guide named the universe, right?
That's so true.
Wants me, right?
Yeah.
Some way.
So true. So true.
Guys, I know that this time really literally has flown by, and I'm sure we wanted to cover so many more stories. Lauri had written down hers, and I had mine all in my back pocket ready to go. But we do want to share with you before we leave this evening. Lauri's going to share her website again. And I just also want to mention that I have some upcoming events happening July 8th and 11th and 17th and August. We're already into August because I have a Circle of Love coming up on the 11th of July. I think I have one ticket left, but if you can't make it this month, July 11th, please come to my August 1st Circle of Love event. But really coming this Saturday is July 8th, and that is Kimberly Meredith and myself doing the Mother Mary Matrix. And thank you so much, Brianna, for putting in. And Kimberly and I just talked today. I mean, we're getting goosebumps. We're just giggling. We're so happy about it, and we're going live on her Instagram tomorrow to talk more about it and do some readings. So, but then also July 17th, I'm doing another great event with Suzanne Northrup, and that's an online event with spirit messages as well. So please join me either for one or all my events. And of course, I'm here every Wednesday with Lauri and with Kelly, with Brianna, with Todd. We're doing Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. And then lastly, I have my Sunday nights healing prayer circles. So if you can sign up for my healing prayer circle, if you're looking for the power of prayer or group meditation, it's just a wonderful half hour or so that we're together, and that's online as well. So my website's mediumcheryl.com, and sign up for my email list as well as Lauri's. And Lauri, I'm going to hand it over to you, laurialbert.com. Just to mention again, Lauri has that beautiful circle. You have a beautiful class coming up that you're going to teach. It's online for 4 weeks, right? Unveiling.
Unveiling the extraordinary. And then I also, I have a small group. I call them Spirit Nights. So I have a Spirit Night coming up, and I think I have 3 tickets left.
Oh,
pretty sure. I have 3 tickets left for a Spirit Night. It's a small group reading, and everybody will get a reading. So that's always fun. And so I've got that coming up. I have been doing sign up for my newsletter. If you go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, because I haven't been in the past. I haven't been very good about sending stuff out, but I'm getting into a groove now. So my newsletter is going to be the source of information, right? And I've been doing also more lives on Instagram and Instagram and my Facebook page and my YouTube page. Last week I did, and some of you were there, I know, but I did a live on Instagram. So I had my phone over here, and then I had my Restream up, and I was doing and I was just giving readings for like an hour, and it was so much fun. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So,
and I know Lauri, and Lauri can do that. Lauri is very tech savvy. You can have all that running and make it look flawless. So,
I don't even know, but I was like, what am I doing? But I wanted, I want what I want, I wanted it to be on Instagram.
Hey,
it's not Linktree anymore. Ooh,
yeah.
Just go to my website. Sorry, I should have told you that. All of my stuff is on my website. Okay. I have a different, it's not Linktree anymore. Sorry. It's like bio something, but it's on my Instagram. So I should have told you that, Brianna. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Now we know. And so laurialbert.com, and that has all of your social links on there for us to connect with. Well, that just made it more easy.
Yes. Right. With, in the age of social media, we have so many places to go.
Yeah, true. Well, thank you, Lauri, for being our guest tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's so much fun, Cheryl.
Sitting co-host. Yeah, it's so much fun having you, Lauri. It's great to see you again. And we'll have you back on real soon.
Yes, and we're going to do something, you and me.
I know.
We're going to plan this.
I have to get,
yes,
we are getting our ducks in a row, Lauri and I, and we'll make this special announcement. Okay.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. And, but for everyone, thank you for joining us tonight on Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. We'll be back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And in the meantime, until we see you again next week, have grace and thank Grace for being your guide for this evening, and thank the universe. And thank you all for sharing your spirit stories. All right. Yes. Have a beautiful evening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.